Alright guys, crypto market, we're back. As I've mentioned previously, we got the market back on the downside now. And after the explosion we've seen the last few days, it's not surprising at all, right? It's even expected, I would say, that we'll have a correction, a technical correction. And consider the nature of the upside move we've seen lately, which was very intense. We might have equally intense technical correction or a complete downside move. And I've mentioned that in the previous video, and this is another one of my hedging tactics, right? I'm trying to hedge that bullish exposure to the market right now, and I found this particular opportunity on the OMGUSD, the OMG, which presents a very fascinating technical situation. You already know that I actually took a bit of a hit here last week, right? Because I was holding a bearish position. I called it a cheeky bearish position back then because the market was doing relatively well at that point, and I kept this short position because it was partially hedging my bullish exposure, and I actually believed that price is going to make it to that 29.94 because it came from above. Let's have a quick look here, right? Let's take a look at the big picture. So price came from above after failing to break 2.12, right? It did break it from the weekly perspective, but from the monthly, it was just a bit of it's just a spike here. So it was excess noise manifesting on the weekly price action. But it came back, and at some point, instead of completing the move towards the lower section, it made a U-turn and went back on the upside. But here you can see what's going on, because obviously it fails to break that 2.12, right? We can see that huge spike starting to form, suggesting that it's not going to keep pushing forward. And basically what I suspect that this move is a technical correction to the previous one, which means we're going to have the next on the downside again, completing that, that move, that leg, all the way to the lower section finally, because we haven't got there yet, right? We've missed it. And I think price just went for an upside correction, part of that move, and we're going to see the next downside segment that will complete that leg. So far we've seen 3 legs. I think we're still in the process of constructing the 4th leg. Right now, I'm going to go back again to the daily chart. I find this really remarkable, guys. Take a look at this. Is out of this world. Take a look at this amazing reaction we had on the 2.12 from the daily price action. Now, I'm not only talking about yesterday, which is, it's just a huge. Take a look at this tail. I mean, just think about it. Price was trading at some point yesterday at 2.4073, right? That's so far beyond 2.12, but it managed to go all the way back. Now, bear in mind, the previous day was also pretty engaging here, right? We had a nice reaction. That was the first time. And of course, yesterday, huge reaction, and price made it and closed back below 2.12, which is amazing in itself. But even today, a 3rd consecutive attempt here on the upside, another, much more modest type of reactions, small spike here. And price is already on the downside, so now it seems to be turning around. We have a visible downside reversal after a huge reaction on that 2.12. We know that's a strong resistance. So at this point, I suspect that we're starting the next move on the downside, right? And we're going to be focusing on 173.36 for as secondary target for partial execution. And later on, we're going to try to squeeze out that move all the way back to 29, right? 129.90. So that's a pretty significant move we're talking about here, right? We're talking about 40% drop, potentially speaking. Should be interesting to see how things are going to play out here. That's about that for the OMGUSD, guys, and that's about that for today. Till next time, be well.